first and foremost, it's always important to make sure that everyone just understands that they have to give themselves permission to be a beginner. Again, we're all really high performers, high achievers. So sometimes it's hard to humble yourself and take a step back and learn a new skill. But the perspective is always fun to see someone who's either early career or early with this skill, and you can see the frustration. And I think just really encouraging patience and showing them grace and patience allows them to take their time and grow however they need that to happen. And the analogy that I was thinking of is I recently was chatting with a dental intern that interned at our office, and now she's a D1 student in dental school. I met with her for dinner, and she goes, I don't know how you guys made dentistry look so easy. She's in her operative course, and she's trying to figure out how to, like, look in the mirror, like, see the lingual surface of a tooth in the mirror. She was like, man, that's hard. And it reminded me about, 20 years ago when I did that for the first time as well. And you're like, how does anyone do this? And it seems like such a basic skill, and you see someone do it, like riding a bike. And all I told her was, there's just a moment where it will all click. And it never happens when you expect it to happen, and it doesn't always happen quickly. And it'll happen quicker for other people than it will for you, and, quicker for you than other people. But just giving yourself that grace and that patience and continually trying. And once it all clicks, you're like, oh. And it's really fun to watch with the students that are in various courses. And sometimes what the most fun is watching it happen to a doctor who's assisting their partner in clinic. So it might not even be when they are the actual practitioner and they're not actually, placing the implant or placing the IV or something. It's when they're assisting and helping their colleagues. And sometimes those little magical moments happen. And so it's really fun to watch and encourage people to look at things from different perspectives and just keep trying. The benefit of a curriculum like Pathways is that they have seen thousands of patients and placed, I don't know how many thousands of implants over the years, but they have tried and true methods. The original faculty members and the founders really took the time to put systems in place that allowed us to be really meticulous about teaching and having like an order, a process for that. And so you have those guidelines, but then you also have the ability to take your own clinical background and work to your strengths. So it's a really cool environment where you have that structure, you have the support, the clinic is amazing, they're staffed super well with really helpful individuals that will help you from anything from admin to equipment to assisting and all of that. So you're really supported in a way where you can truly be the doctor or be the assisting colleague and just use tried and true methods. So I think being a continual student is really important in a field like dentistry, but I think it's just really important in life. Again, you can't take anything too seriously because it'll drive you crazy. So if you just always give yourself the permission to be a beginner, it allows you to have an open mind, it allows you to give yourself a lot more grace. And for a profession where we are measuring things by millimeters and, everything is just really hyper-focused and really meticulous, giving yourself that opportunity and that permission to take a step back, look at the entire picture, look at yourself as a whole, and not just focus on maybe things that are a little bit more challenging or frustrating. That's what's going to really help you just foster a successful mindset as you progress through your dental career. Patient safety is always number one, right? We want patient safety and we want ideal outcomes. So the beautiful thing about Pathways is that you're not just flying in, dropping a bunch of implants in people, not doing any follow-up, and just saying like, oh, we've got geographical success because everything I placed is there for 2 days. So they really make a point to have the highest standards that I've seen in a CE program, a surgical CE program. And the follow-up is really meticulous, so that you always have the full-time staff that's there at Pathways. You have the residents that are there, and they're continuously following up with the patients to make sure that things are looking well for them and that everything's looking successful. I loved it when I had done the Fast Track program. I connected with my faculty that was there, and they connected me with one of the residents, and I was able to kind of follow up with my patients that I had placed my first implants in. So I was able to follow up with them and just make sure that everything looked great. And there's just nothing better than a few months later, getting a picture, a text with the PA after they seated their crown and everything's like good to go and the patient's happy. So the patient follow-up is really cool. Having that 2-to-1 student to mentor ratio is also important because it allows for customization of the learning while you're there. So you become really good friends actually with your mentors, and you get to know each other and you build really lasting relationships. So again, it's not just a fly in, place implants, fly out, you never talk to anybody again, you never follow up. It's a really special setup that they have. I mentioned this a couple times before, and we've kind of alluded to it, but truly the power of community is what's really important as you're kind of working your way through your dental career. Dentistry is challenging because it can be really isolating sometimes, and everything is just kind of moving really quickly, and you always have to stay at the top of your game. And dentistry, it just constantly challenges your ideas and your experience. So to embrace, but also to be embraced by a truly comprehensive community like Pathways is, I think, the secret sauce to success. Because then you see things from different angles, you meet new people, you kind of keep that growth mindset. And then what I have found is as you're going through your dental career, we all need different things depending on what season of our practice we're in. So whether it's, early on you need more technical abilities, later on you might need more personal development, more business development or whatever. Having those resources and having connections so that you can grow and really embrace those different seasons of your professional career is really fun and important.